talking about doing this for a long time, and think in my head I've been talking about doing this for a long time. And I've shared my story multiple times about my epilepsy, but I've never really taken the time to thank those who have had a direct impact as far as for being along for the ride and putting up with the crazy crap that I've been through, and seeing my seizures and seeing what it's done. And even those that haven't seen my seizures but have helped me along the journey, and it's those people that I probably wouldn't be able to do what I do, and I wouldn't be able to be where I am today if it wasn't for them. Now, there's obviously my wife, who for the last 5-6 years has seen the worst of the worst and has stuck by me through it all and been a straight up saint, for lack of better terminology. She's been a saving grace, and I can never thank her enough. Then there's my fitness coach, John Gorman. Whether he knows it or not, he's played a big role in the last year and a half of my life, and I got a big thank to him for helping me out figure out certain things about nutrition that I never even learned about or never understood. And his fitness training schedules and as well as nutrition put me on a path that's definitely helped me out. There's also, in the last few months, there's been Russ Scala and Vicky Iliff, who have shown me pathways and nutritional supplements and research things, and they're still developing protocols for me that I've never even could even possibly fathom. I mean, the amount of experience those two have is absolutely amazing. But this is more than just saying thank you for the ride and everything, but there's also my older brother Darren, like going back to November 2018 when I went to go get him from North Carolina. Was one of the worst seizures I've ever had, and he saw that happening firsthand. And again, my saint of a wife dropped everything and hopped on a plane to fly up to North Carolina to get the both of us to drive us back down here. And the reason why I'm saying all this is that over the last 8 going on 9 years of battling this condition, and some people like to call it a disability, I look at it as, yeah, it can fuck your life up, it can royally screw your plans up, and you never know when it's going to hit, but you need to use that as fuel to bust your ass and to seriously push as hard as possible. And I mean that when you can, because there's a lot of times where you have down times where you can't, and it's whether it be mentally or whether it be physically, you literally just don't have it in you to work out. But you always have control over nutrition, you always have control what you put in your mouth. And the people I mentioned earlier, they've given me pathways and guideways that I didn't know existed. And while I've been studying nutrition, I've been studying physical training for the last couple of years, I don't have nearly as much experience as these people do. And using their experiences as well as talking with my doctors and everything, it's a hell of a ride. And am I still looking at surgery? Yes. Is it a guarantee? No. If I can avoid it, I'd be great. I'm doing pretty good so far, especially over the last couple months with this new protocol with Russ and Vicky and Scala Precision Health, and implementing certain things that it's not a cure, it's not a treatment, it's just another tool in my toolbox that's using essential oils, which I never thought in my life I would ever even think about using essential oils. But like I said, it's just another tool in the toolbox combined with all these other protocols. It's helping me get better sleep. Better sleep is helping my epilepsy because it gives me more rest, which in turn just builds up more time for that rest to help my brain, which reduces slashes, stops seizures from coming. And I have to take it day by day and hour by hour. That's life of an epileptic. You never know what's going to come next. Being a military veteran, I don't know whether any of the things I've been through in the military caused the epilepsy. It could have been something I had all my life and just lay dormant until I was 36 years old. Now 44 going on 45. Don't know. It's just, like I said, just been one hell of a ride, and we're just trying to figure out what the next step is going to be. Now, again, the surgery thing is still an option, and unless I can pull off 6 to 8 months of no seizures, that's the only time I would consider not doing the surgery. But the main part of the surgeries that I really wanted to look into is the stereo EEG, where they actually drill holes in your head and they can put probes in, and that way you can determine exactly what the hell kind of epilepsy it is, because to this day they don't know. There's so many different kinds of seizures that I have. I don't know, and that's all I can say is I don't know. But the number one reason why I'm still looking at the surgery, along with all the other things I go through and all the other things I try, is my son. And having a 5-year-old son, and since the day he was born, that's been my main concern, is having a seizure, a massive seizure while he sees me, while I'm playing with him. The worst thing in the world that could ever possibly happen would be me hurting him, and that would completely destroy me. I bust my ass every day trying to figure out how to get through the day. The worst part of the whole epilepsy thing, I think, for me, isn't even so much the physical seizures, it's the mental toll it takes on my body. And there's days where I just don't have it in me to work out. I don't have it in me to do just about anything. I do everything I can to push myself forward to try to get into it. But there's times where it just really just wipes me out, and I just like, it's just like there's just nothing there. For those, this has been a long video already, but for those that don't know, 2011 I was diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 36, and nobody in my family history has ever had seizures that I'm aware of. We still haven't found anything. They've gone through numerous doctors, countless tests. They still don't know exactly what caused it. It could be anything from a vaccine in the military. It could be from getting hit in the face and having head traumas. It could be hundreds of different things, but all those things, like any kind of head trauma, any kind of vaccine, stuff like that, was over 11 years before I started having seizures in 2011. So it's really hard to say that that's what caused them, or that's what, it just could have been something, like I said, that would lay dormant. And really, it's been back and forth, and being through so many different medications, I already know that's once you go through 2 medications in epilepsy, you're basically medication resistant. And the worst part about the medications is the side effects. And I haven't found a medication combo really that has stopped the seizures. It wasn't until I started adding in real nutrition, adding in these extra supplements, extra protocols, that have slowed down to the point of I've gone over 30 days without seizures or jerks. There's been times where it's definitely made me just tired, but I didn't have any jerks or seizures. Not to say that something could have happened overnight. I can't know. There's no way to document that. But this is my life, and this is something I have to deal with I work as uh, I work as a technician, like doing support tech. So luckily, I have a desk job. I'm lucky to even have a job that I'm able to work at all, dealing with this condition. But it's also a sedentary job, sitting down. So if something major was to happen, at least I wouldn't be falling somewhere usually. Um, it's a nutty life, and there's people out there that have a hell of a lot worse than me. And the reason I do these videos and go repeat myself on these things is the factor that I know there's people out there that do have it 100 times worse than I do. And I'm grateful for every little thing I have and all the time I have and the times I have had, because tomorrow's not guaranteed for anybody. And being an epileptic, it is a day-to-day thing, and you have to take it like that. So again, to my amazing wife Marissa, my brother Darren, my mother, my father, John Gorman, Russ and Vicky, all you out there that have been there. There's so many names that I could name that have been along the journey and have helped me along the way, and have seen some of the crazy stuff that I've been through. And it sucks, and I wish I could do something to make it up to you guys. And all I can do is just keep doing videos like this, or video type things, to inspire others not to give up, just to keep pushing. If I can just help one person, if I can just guide one person to be better, that's been my mission, is to never quit and to help as many people as possible. But if I can just help one person get where they need to be, that's what's going to be what I need to do. And like I said, quitting is not an option. Giving up is not an option. Epilepsy is part of my life, and it may be part of my life forever. But I will not let it stop me, and I will not let it just put me in the corner. I will always try to figure a way of getting up. And I'm gonna wrap this up with, just remember this: the minute you give up, the minute you quit, is literally the minute you start dying. And I refuse to let that happen. I'm gonna outlive everybody. That's being facetious, obviously. I'm gonna just continually work as hard as possible, try to be the hardest worker I can be, and to damn it to hell, I will push until I help at least one person. If I can help 1,000 people, that's amazing. If I can help 1,000,000 people, that's even better. But you know what? Just one person. That's my goal. As long as one person gets something out of this, that is huge for me. And again, to all the people that I've named throughout the video, thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for giving me things to do and teaching me different things, and to keep kicking ass and making me not quit, pushing me to find new, find bigger, find stronger ways. And I'm not out to let anybody down. And that's just who I am. I'm not about to let people down. And that's for me. That's not necessarily for them. That's just something I have to do for myself. Anyway, keep pushing, never quit.